at you all the way from our dorm rooms to your conference rooms. Saba, Ali, and Dan Teeman here are two college students who are ready to talk to you guys about business and lifestyle from our personal experiences.
Each week we'll discuss about our lifestyle as college students as well as our tips and strategies starting in the business field. We'll bring on successful entrepreneurs in the millennial generation to share with us their journey and how they got started and where they're at now.
Our goal is to help you students, millennials, and entrepreneurs gain inspirational advice by our spontaneous conversations and meaningful guidance. Let's dive on in.
What's going on, everyone? We're back here at Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms, and it's episode 60. As always, we have another amazing guest on, but to get us going, Saba, how are you today?
I am doing great. I'm super pumped about our guest today because she's only 15 years old and she's doing some amazing things already.
Guys, we have Mia Roxon. She was born in Virginia and she's a 15-year-old that's taking the world by storm. She's now a singer and performer, and she, likes to do every daily thing that every other 15-year-old would like to do, such as makeup, drawing, plays Pokemon, does anime, and she's always playing her guitar, and she also loves art. But that's something that's a very, very little bit about yourself, Mia. Talk more about yourself. Give us a little more background.
Okay, well, I'm a musician by craft. That's what I do a lot. I actually have this special schedule at school that allows me to take half of the time off. I do some online classes, a little bit of that, and work on my music. But anyways, a big theme in my music is anti-bullying, because I was bullied a lot when I was younger, in elementary and middle school, and it had a lot of negative impact on me. But one day I had this kind of realization that I basically needed to change myself so I could stop caring about the bullies and what they said. So I changed myself, and it had a really great effect, and I want to share that with other people so they can have that same effect on themselves.
It's an amazing reason why to, help out other people, you going through an experience. I mean, I couldn't even imagine that. But Mia, I know kids could be so mean and cruel. Is there certain times that really stood out to you that got you really thriving in the music world that you're like, I need to make a stand? Did something really personally happen to you, if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah. There's this one story that I tell a lot. So I actually just told it on Facebook Live the other day, but I will repeat it again. So one specific thing that I really remember from being bullied is one day in fourth grade. I was 9 years old. I was going into the cafeteria, going to buy my lunch, the regulation, school pizza and chocolate milk, that entire thing. So I come out of the lunch line and somebody trips me. I didn't know exactly who it was, but I have this hunch to this day that it was this fourth grade jock, as I like to call them, like the ones that are always on the sports teams and whatsoever. But after I was tripped, I could replay this moment in slow motion in my mind. It was the most mortified I had ever felt. I felt like the entire cafeteria was staring at me. I felt like I was a deer in headlights or something like that. And the worst part about that to me is that nobody really came and helped me. I was sitting on the floor in this puddle of my lunch, being absolutely stunned, what is going on here? But nobody helped me. And the vice principal of the school was in the corner of the lunchroom, and even he didn't come and help me. And it was really surprising to me because this school that I went to had a zero tolerance bullying policy, but somehow that managed to disappear into thin air during that incident.
So Mia, when really was it when you finally realized that you wanted to make a difference in your life and really tell the world that you can tell your stories through music?
I actually realized it right after a seventh grade dance. It was the evening after one of those seventh grade dances, and I didn't go because I had nobody to go with, and I was like, I really want to go, but I'm afraid I'm going to be bullied and embarrassed. And I just had that kind of realization. I like to call it the epiphany, that I should have gone to that dance, even if I was afraid of being embarrassed, because why should I be afraid of being embarrassed? What is embarrassment? It's just a bunch of people saying what they think about you, but you know who you really are on the inside. You know what's the best parts about you and the worst parts. So just focus on yourself and don't care about what other people think.
So, I mean, you're so intelligent for being, what people consider so young. What, you've been going now for, how long have you been actually in the music world, and how long have you been doing this for now?
I've been doing music as a total for 9 years. I think that's approximate. And in the music industry, I've been active for about 3 years.
Awesome. So what got you, when, like Saba said, you had to finally make a decision. How did you kind of start that then? What did you do? What were your first steps? Almost walk us through that.
So what I did initially is that I thought about all of the things that I needed to change about myself, like my insecurities, my anxieties, that kind of thing. And I basically made a little list and brainstormed ways how to fix it. Like, for example, insecurities. I would do these things called affirmations every morning, being like, you are strong, you are beautiful, you are capable, you are not the person that they think you are.
So Mia, what are you doing now with your music? Like, what is a current project that you are currently working on?
Right now, I'm actually working on recording my first album and a crowdfunding campaign to fund that first album. The reason why I'm doing that is because I think crowdfunding is a great medium to get fans and followers involved with the actual project. I feel like it makes everyone think that this is our project, not just my project. This is not for me. This is for everyone out there who listens to my music or who listens to my message and who needs to hear the words that I say.
So did that crowdfunding campaign, did that start yet or no?
No, it actually starts on July 17th, which is about like 10-ish days away. I think that's like, yeah, it's about 10-ish, like, or 12.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Today's July 5th. Yeah. No, that's awesome. We'll definitely be seeing how that's going. So now with the crowdfunding thing, everything got going like that. That's something people are really interested in. People really don't know how that works. Kind of stepping into that industry now a little bit for yourself to promote your album and get everything going. What's that kind of been like for you?
It's been a little bit confusing because, a lot of musicians more focus on the creative part and get really, really good at that. But then when it's time to get to the business and marketing side, you're kind of clueless, So with my dad's help, actually, he is an internet marketer, or at least one in training. I've been learning about crowdfunding and the whole world of internet marketing your music. It's really interesting, I think.
So Mia, you're still in high school, correct?
Yes.
So do people still bully you till this day, or do they see what you're doing in this world by your music?
I think that it's not quite about what I'm doing, because honestly, people at my high school could not care less about what I'm doing because they've got their own work to do. But it's more that people have gotten more mature and they see that bullying is not a right way to solve your problems, because a lot of bullies bully people because of their own insecurities and to make themselves feel better. But a lot of people in my school are more mature now, and they realize that bullying is not the way to solve their problems.
So then for you, obviously, being bullied and being victimized by others, and now you're kind of taking this stand. And I know you said that they might not really realize, but do you feel like there's been more eyes on you in the past couple of years here taking this type of stand? And how do you kind of handle that now more people are watching you? I know you said you had to get rid of some of your insecurities, but how do you go about handling now that more people are kind of eyes focused on you?
I kind of just go about it. I don't really think about all the people who are watching. I mean, I think about them, but I don't think about the volume. Like, there's always going to be people watching. So I just try and give them my best face. I try and show them what I'm all about, honestly, and represent myself to them.
So, Mia, once you graduate high school, what are your plans? So, do you think you are going to go to college, or are you going to really go full time on your music career?
Well, when I graduate high school, I'm actually going to be 17 because I'm a year ahead. So I'll have 1 year before I really, really need to get my butt in gear. But after college or after high school, I plan to move to Nashville because I have a lot of contacts there, and there's a lot of opportunities, I think, there. And yeah, I'm planning to work on my music. I might pursue online college as an option. I know a lot of people say that that's kind of like not real college, but it seems like a pretty good option to me.
So, Mia, with all these contacts that you have within the music industry, how have you been meeting a lot of these people? Have you been networking around in Facebook groups, or have you been doing cold outreach? What has kind of been or putting videos on YouTube? What has kind of been your outreach to find these, these contacts that you have down in Nashville, or really get into the music industry?
I have my mentor, Charisse Boltor. She actually taught me everything I know about songwriting. She's an amazing, amazing woman. Her company is Global Songwriters Connection. Um, she has a lot of contacts in the music industry, and she often does these events called publisher online pitches, where you get to meet publishers who basically bring your music to people who want to hear it or want to use it in some sort of medium. She basically orchestrates all those meetings for me, and she's teaching me how to do the outreaches on my own now because she can't always do them for me. But yeah, that's how I've met most of the people I know and how I've gotten most of the breaks, I guess, I've had so far.
Mia, now that you have your crowdfunding campaign going live in a week or so, what are you doing with marketing, really, with your crowdfunding campaign and your album that you're going to have soon?
What I'm doing with marketing, every day I do Facebook Lives to kind of reach out to my audience, say hello, make sure that they see me kind of as like a real person and not this unattainable like model. Because a lot of musicians like that are already famous seem like this unattainable person, this unreal person, like Lady Gaga or Beyonce. So I guess I do Facebook Lives so people see me a little bit more as a person they can relate to. I also do Instagram stories and Snapchat stories just to give them a little peek into what I'm doing specifically. And yeah, I'm just trying to spread my message a lot.
Now, how would you go? So if there's someone new going into the industry, your age, older, it doesn't matter. Usually the steps are kind of the same. But what are some of the first steps going into the music industry that you would want to tell someone to do? What are the major steps, I guess?
First of all, I would think before you actually go and make any contacts and ask people to support you, you have to have like this thing I call the package. It's basically you have all of the talents or the skills of a musician. You have to be a really good songwriter. You have to be good at least one instrument. You have to be a vocalist if that's your thing, if you're going to be an artist. You really have to figure out what your niche is. If you're going to be a writer for somebody else, like a songwriter, write somebody else's songs for them. If you're going to be a musician on tracks, if you're going to be a track singer who just sings songs for songwriters or an artist, you have to figure out your lane and make a plan to get where you're going to go in that lane.
Looking into the future in maybe like 5 or 10 years, where do you really see yourself?
I have some pretty big goals. I mean, my biggest goal is just to spread my message of anti-bullying as far as it will go to as many people as I can, and to really hopefully touch their lives and make them feel like they have a friend in me or they have some support in this entire community that I'm trying to build.
Awesome. That's an amazing goal to have. I mean, I know we all have personal goals, like mine is such as helping my mom out, being able to support her and supporting myself soon enough. But Mia, kind of wrapping things up here, what is the best advice you can give our listeners, as well as where can they find you at?
Okay. My best advice I can give anyone, whether it's in becoming someone in the music industry or being bullied, is just work hard at what you're doing. Know what you're doing, make a plan, and then work really hard on executing those segments of your plan or all of those parts. And where you can find me is on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. All of my usernames are at The Real Mia Rocks, and that is it.
Awesome. Mia, it was so much fun having you on here today. Guys, go check her out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it might be that you use. Definitely check her out. She's an amazing person, amazing singer. But you can find us at dr2cr.com. Saba, what are some final words?
Mia, thank you so much for coming on today. You have an amazing journey. I'm super excited about your crowdfunding campaign that is going to launch here soon. So we will include that in the show notes. But thank you guys so much for listening today at Dorm Rooms to Conference Rooms.
Thank you, Mia.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mia.
Thank you too.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you haven't joined our accelerator program yet, you can find that at livetogrind.com/college, where we connect you with today's latest influencers and experts in their fields.